Okay, quick video here just to show you how to get a real world location into Dayz's terrain builder. Presuming you've got a P drive, you're going to need to open that up, and in here create a new folder and name it after your map or your chosen location. Mine's Tasmania. And in this folder we're going to need to create three more. We'll create one for world, one for navmesh, and one for CE. You're not necessarily going to need these folders right now, but they're very handy to have in there for later. I'm going to open up Dayz Tools, Terrain Builder, Map Frames, add map frame, and OK. In here your name is the name of your map, so Tasmania, and this needs to be directed to the folder you've just created in the P drive. And just click OK. Generate your subfolders, and then you can change your east into 200,000 and your north into 0.000. These are the folders that you just created, so you need to create a new folder now. Name that one Terrain Processor, and then another new folder for Qgis. So put that to one side for now. In the description there'll be a link to a download, so you'll get these folders, and each one will have a basic config file in it. You simply just copy those from one folder to yours. So from the CE folder to the CE, open it up in Notepad++, delete the map name and just change that to the name of your map. And we're going to do that for all of these. Again, just change the name. And save it. So I've got the navmesh one here as well, but in the main config file, the navmesh is pointing to the Chernarus one until you've generated your own. But we'll do this file while we're here. Source folder, you will need both of these files, and in the layers you will have to edit again the name. Just copy those, pop them into your source folder, and scroll down. And delete out map name and put your map name in there. Close and save again. And the final one is the world. This is a larger config file. And paste that in, open it up. On this one I always highlight the name, map name, search, replace, and then replace with your map name. Replace all, and then just check at the bottom that there's 8. That should be all of them. Close and save again. So once you've got all those across, you can just close all these windows down now. You'll only need to do that once. So this sets your map size. For this one I'm choosing 2048 by 10 cell, and that'll give me a terrain size of 20,480, which you then need to transfer into these satellite surface mask boxes and make sure they're the same. The texture layer 40 or as close to that as possible. I don't know why I always click rebuild terrain here, but I do. I don't know if it actually affects anything, but and then in this one you're just looking for your layers config. So back to your map name, source folder, and there's your layers. Just click OK for that. And save your terrain. Always try and save and make backups of your map. Save it in your terrain builder folder within your source, and again just name that after your map. Well, that's it for that part. So we're going to head over to Qgis now. Qgis is where you'll get your real world location. I'm using the 3.16. It's not the newest version, but I've got used to this one. So go ahead, open up game terrains, and on the right you'll see that there's 3 different maps: Google, Bing, Qgis. You click add sat map on one of those. As you see, it's the color change more than anything. Sometimes your map will have clouds on, etc., so you need to just keep an eye out for that. Save this project. Again, this goes into your P drive, your map name, source, Qgis folder, and again name it after your map. It just keeps things simple. Once you've saved, you can then add you can mark the area, but as always I forget what size I'm doing for what map. You can head back into terrain builder and just go and have a quick look. 2480. So this mark area, this needs to be 2480 also. And click mark area. This red box is what you'll be selecting. This will be your map, whatever's inside that box. Obviously in this part I'm choosing part of Tasmania. So when you've got your placement correct, just left click and select it. Now over here you've got sat map, mask, height map and roads. I always make sure that all the export boxes are unchecked, then download the height map. Not sure if the order really matters, but I've always done them in this order. So once that's downloaded, you can export that. Always pop over to my P drive once it's fully exported. You just got to wait a little while for some parts. Some take longer than others. And the reason I go to my P drive is sometimes roads don't export correctly, or other parts, and if they don't, you can simply just click export again, go back and check, and you'll probably find that it's done it the second time round. Just wait for this one to finish. Okay, export done. As I said, pop it to the P drive, it doesn't hurt just to check. P drive, map name, source, Qgis, and you should now have GTT export folder. There you go, that's your height map. Untick, and then I tend to do the roads next. You need to download those. This again could take a while, it depends on how many roads is in the location that you've selected. And just keep an eye on the right hand side where it says road processing completed and the shapes completed. You need to wait for both of those. Once you've got both of those completed, you can export both. Export done. Check your folder, roads and shapes. Okay, onto the mask. Make sure you uncheck everything again. Mask is usually very fast. It's a basic file. And then once completed again, I'll go into the P drive and just make sure it's there. Yeah, so the mask is there. The mask you can edit later in Photoshop or anything that's paint driven. So next we're going to do the sat map. I will be skipping this part on the video, the actual process of it, because this can take quite a while. It can take 20-30 minutes depending on the size of your map, so don't be worried if it takes a long time. Once it has completed though, like that, go into your folder again, and there you have your sat map. And that's all the files we need from there, so just save your project, close that down, and we're going to head back into Terrain Builder, and we'll just start importing now. So import terrain, that is actually your height map, which again, source folder, Qgis, GTT export, and height map. Some aspects of this can take 2 or 3 minutes, but again, I will be skipping those so it speeds up a little bit. Again, don't be worried if it takes 2-3 minutes for the sat map to import. Okay, and the final one is the mask for now. So all 3 files. So now we need to rebuild all this. So back into map frames, processing, rebuild terrain, check the export satellite, export surface, convert, and leave it at 4 materials, and then click generate layers. Again, I will skip this in the video because this will take 30+ minutes easy. So I've skipped that. Once you've done all that, save it again, always saving. Hit bulldozer. This process takes a while sometimes, but I've cut this short, and there you have it, Tasmania. Overall, this video took an hour and 12 minutes full to build this map. That's because of all the processing time, but you know, that's what it is. So I've got links and thank yous in the description, including Big Grandpa's in-depth 2-hour map building tutorial, Death Lord's Malden map, and the new Iztek map. You should definitely check both of those out. That's everything.